Welcome, everybody, to Celluloid and Scotch, Episode 3. I am Dan, and my co-host, Carlito, and we have watched Alita Battle Angel, and I think we kind of need to talk about the history of this movie, because this was, long development, and what might have gone wrong. I have a comparison movie to put to this, but I'll start out with this. Also, shout out to the Alita Army, who have been retweeting and liking my post on Twitter all day. Thank you, guys and ladies. I appreciate it. So this dates all the way back to 1995. Guillermo del Toro introduced James Cameron to Battle Angel Alita, the manga by Yukito Kishiro. Cameron started writing the script in 1999 and after falling in love with the property. In 2003, James Cameron told media that the Alita movie was imminent. Nothing. 2004, he said Alita was next after Aliens of the Deep Dock. Nothing. 2005, Alita on hold for Avatar, which came out in 2009. Funny thing, though, when that mocap technology came out, they had that and Avatar both sitting there, and because there was more CG characters to test it with for Avatar, they used that instead of Alita because there was going to be human actors in it, and they wanted to really push the technology. And then James Cameron's like, you know what? I'm kind of digging this Avatar thing. Let's put Alita on the back burner. 2015, Cameron shares 3-hour script with Robert Rodriguez after Rodriguez went to his house to hang out, and then asks Robert Rodriguez to helm it. First thing, he's like, yeah, it's like 3 hours. You could rewrite it. And he's like, I'm not rewriting you. I will edit you, but I will not rewrite you. Plus, John had told me the other night he hadn't watched this movie yet, so I had to tell him where to catch it on streaming.
What?
Yeah.
John.
2016, 2017, shooting finally begins. Rosa Salazar had to beat out Zendaya, Micah Monroe, and Bella Thorne for the role.
Oof, Bella Thorne.
Yeah, which that would have been horrible, and I'll get to that.
Yeah.
Where we get into this movie is a failure. From numbers.com, production budget approximately $170 million, not counting marketing. Gross theater budget domestic, $86 million, rounded up. Foreign, $319 million. Worldwide, $405 million total. Then we get to home market. DVD, $4.7 million sold, or $4.7 million made off the sales. Blu-ray, $18.9 million. So it had a good second life. But there's one number that they will not put out. Just like with comic books, digital. You cannot find the numbers on streaming like Apple sales, Google Play, nothing. You can't find any digital download information of what money was made off of it. Which
it was typical. On Netflix for a while too, wasn't it?
It was on Netflix. It was on HBO Max. I heard it was on Tubi now exclusively. It's kind of bounced around. So apparently the $400 million was not enough to break even because of marketing, supposedly. But they did we think it did well enough, it might get a sequel, and we'll start getting into that. First thing for me about the movie is a week before it came out, Rotten Tomato and reviewers were just bombing it. Just review bombing it. It was like they were waiting for James Cameron to be involved with something that was questionable just so they could fuck him in his mouth. Yeah. And they really did with this. The negative reviews were out of hand. The marketing for the trailers was horrible. I thought, they did a bad job. It's like Fox was like, I don't know what this is. Fuck it. Let's just do a sizzle reel and see what happens.
Dude, and I gotta say, real quick, the marketing, the trailer that I saw before it came out, I don't know if the CGI was finalized.
Probably not.
and it looked horrendous. Like I thought, oof.
They kept focusing on the big eyes. Like I remember it kept zooming in on that. I really think they needed to go the Christopher Nolan route with it. And in IMAX put out like a 5 to 10 minute teaser like they did with Tenet, Inception, where it could have been just that motorball part.
I think everybody just needs to go the Christopher Nolan route, and then movies will be better.
Well, like, didn't know what Tenet was about, but you watch that opening scene and you're just like, all right, like I'm down for whatever this is. Like, this is fascinating to watch.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know, I find out that the lead star I had no idea was Denzel Washington's kid. So now I know.
Yeah, I didn't know that until afterwards. I don't think.
Yeah.
I really wasn't paying attention that hard to it, but cheers.
Salud. So overall, like I was interested because Robert Rodriguez, I don't think has handled a movie with this kind of budget before. Like ever. So James Cameron handing it over to him of all the directors, I was like, okay, like there is a circle of trust here, and James Cameron was overseeing it. And, you know, I had this crazy amount of VFX. What were your thoughts of the movie overall?
Overall, I think that year, was it 2019 it came out? I had that in my top 3 of like surprising hits for me. Like, one, the trailer looked awful when I saw it. So, and also I didn't know anything about the manga or the comic books or whatever. So I had none of that back history. And 3, I obviously am not a huge Cameron guy. So it had those good things going against it. And then going in, like, honestly, I think I waited to see it too. And I don't know if this came out in IMAX or if I saw it. I don't think
it came out in IMAX. Like, that was how I saw it.
I don't think I saw it in IMAX, but
it's the way to see it. I'll tell you that. Like, whew.
But I did go to a new theater that had just opened out here that had like a massive screen and an awesome sound system. So, yeah, I mean, by the time I walked out of that movie, I ended up loving every minute of it, and the story and the way they did the animation mixed with, you know, live action, and I just thought everything was clean, crisp. Like, honestly, and when I rewatched it recently, I didn't find any moments where I was like, oh, they should probably trim that down, or I thought it was just really well done overall and put together in a good cohesive way that it was just smooth, for lack of a better word, and heartfelt. And I didn't think I'd get that from like a combination what do you call it, like android / humanoid or whatever movie. So
cyborg, yeah. Like, I honestly, like, I went into it going, okay, like I had just seen the Scarlett Johansson what the hell was that movie? Ghost in the Shell, and it was fucking horrible.
I avoided that like the plague.
Like, her acting was so wooden, like she was trying to be a robot, but just with no emotion to it. Hello, Gord. So, like, the thing, like, oh god, wait,
that's crazy.
El Mariachi was a very good film. Rodriguez is hit and miss. Weirdly, I really like Planet Terror from the Grindhouse. Like, I thought it was amusing. Cheesy, but amusing. It's funny, especially the fake trailers. The fake trailers are fucking amazing.
Is that part of like a triple feature?
It was a double. It was Planet Terror and oh god, the movie with Stuntman Mike. It was Kurt Russell, Death Proof.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, Death Proof was like full, like Quentin Tarantino going, look at all these pretty girls' feet. I'm going to get real close-up pictures of all their feet. And it was like, all right, we get it, dude. You got a fetish.
Yeah, I have a friend that has that fetish, and I think that's why I didn't go see it.
So The movie, like, they made a big deal about the big eyes, but literally after like the first couple of minutes of dealing with her big eyes, you got over it. Like the Uncanny Valley was over.
Yeah.
And the actors they had in this, like Christoph Waltz, like coming off of Oscar performance, I believe.
Jennifer Connelly,
who like she has aged as stunningly as Linda Carter.
She ages like a fine wine. She really does.
She's still as gorgeous as she was when I saw her in oh god, like Career Opportunities back in the day. Like that's dating her. Oh, it was her and John Cusack.
I think I first saw her, was it Requiem for a Dream, I believe?
Oh yeah. That's a oof.
I mean, I might have seen her before that, but that's when I like finally knew who she was.
Mahershala Ali is Vector, who was just coming off of an Oscar performance a year or two ago. Before that, Jennifer Connelly is like underrated, I think, as an actress. Like she takes a lot of jobs though. Not like Nicolas Cage, I'm taking it for the money kind of jobs because I bought this Superman comic, but like it's up there. Ed Skrein post Deadpool playing Zapan. Jackie Earle Haley playing Gruiska. And the craziest like end of the movie reveal. Fucking Ed Norton.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Like literally, I just was like, why is everybody clapping? And then I looked, I was like, holy shit, that was Ed Norton with the bad frosted hair. Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Casper Van Dien's in it playing the cyborg that kills Ido's daughter. Or Ido's daughter. Like, I hadn't seen him since Starship Troopers, or at least that I paid attention to. But the real award of this goes to Rosa Salazar, who, with the mocap, managed to emote and give a vulnerability yet a toughness to this character, which I adored. Like, she made the character human and lovable.
Yes.
And apparently she was a huge fan, according to the documentary I watched today, of the film of the property beforehand. So she really put her all into it, even like went and took fighting classes to learn how to actually fight. The choreography of the fights was good. The VFX was solid, I thought. And again, it's one of those things that I really think the early press killed this thing in the theater, at least domestically.
Yeah, that was at like peak. Everybody was going off of Rotten Tomatoes too before they went to the theater, which really bugged the hell out of me.
Yeah, and like even there was one review I saw today when I was flipping through that it's not bad enough to be good, but it's not good enough to be horrible. Like, it was the dumbest headline. I'm just like, God, you're trying to get clicks. Like, it clearly you're trying. The one thing, like, I really thought they should have led off with, at least with the marketing, it should have been Motorball. If anything, it would have made people think of was it Roller Derby?
Oh yeah.
Like that old movie. Like, that's what I got vibes of, because it was like that except with cyborgs, and it's just an exciting scene that would have got people going, holy shit, that's violent as fuck. I want to see more of this.
Yeah, see, that's another thing that surprised me was I wasn't expecting the level of brutality and violence, and which I'm not opposed to. I just wasn't expecting it, so that kind of bumped it up a notch for me, because I was like, this is gonna probably be like, standard grade, movie theater kind of action stuff, but it really wasn't.
There was some like clunky dialogue in it, which, it's superhero film dialogue where you're just like, all right, yeah. I mean, it's weird that the part where the little dog gets killed was the part that I was like, oh, motherfucker. And then she takes the blood and puts it on. I thought that was a badass moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Not to get too personal, but the parts in movies where dogs get killed and people get their revenge, that strikes a chord with me like every time. Like John Wick, like anything, like immediately it just shoots it up another notch. and gets me involved like hardcore. So I didn't want to see it. I didn't like to see it, but I did like to see her fucking kick ass after that. So
They did it off screen though, which I like that they didn't actually show it. You just kind of heard the, and then them get mad, and of course Jeff Fahey in the corner going, oh, with all his robot dogs. Which another weird actor to have in this is Jeff Fahey, the Lawnmower Man from way back when.
Lawnmower Man, classic.
Classic cheesy, bad movie.
Was that 80s or 90s? Just real quick.
Early 90s.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
I do remember something in particular though. Like I kept making today watching it, like drawing kind of similarities between this and Dread, where Dread bombed in the theaters, but best Judge Dredd movie they've put out. I mean, oh God, what's the actor's name who is playing Dredd in it? He's in Carl Urban.
Yeah,
fantastic. Olivia Thirlby as Anderson was fantastic, and it just did not do well in the theaters. And then all of a sudden comes out in video. Everyone's like, hey, have you seen this Judge Dredd movie? It's actually good. And then it started getting this cult thing, and then just still no sequel.
Speaking of which, I don't know how to do this. John's better at this than I am, but yeah. There's my copy that I got from JoJo.
Oh. Oh, I see Return of the Living Dead in the back.
Oh, yeah. She sent that too, which was awesome. Because I saw it here a few years ago at Walmart, like around Halloween, but I have not seen it anywhere since. So
it's out of print.
And yeah, and I was talking to her about that, and she's like, well, there's a ton here. I'll just give you one. I'm like, what?
Yeah, there's a documentary called More Brains that someone uploaded to YouTube. It's about 2 hours long. It's fucking great because the actors fucking hated the director.
Oh.
Like, hated him. Like, almost got into fist fights with him.
Jeez.
The director just happened to have been the guy who did the special effects on Alien, Dan O'Bannon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Who also Jodorowsky kidnapped to Paris and wouldn't let him leave when they were going to make Jodorowsky's Dune. He kept him high the entire time he was in Paris and wouldn't let him go. Like, there's letters written to his wife saying, I'm still here. I can't leave.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, it was in the Jodorowsky's Dune documentary.
I can't wait for Dune.
October 1st. I've actually scheduled the day off so I can wake up and watch it, and then probably going to get the girls together to do a live stream talking Dune.
Sweet. I'm going to be in the chat for sure on that one. And then also, I'm actually getting re-excited for the third time for Black Widow on July 9th. So,
yeah, the place over by my house hasn't put it up for sale yet. I don't even know if they're still open or not.
Ooh, what is it? What brand? Or like
CMX Theory used to be Cobb.
Okay.
So, Jodorowsky has made fun of Tarantino. He's making fun of Denis Villeneuve, where he's like, I know the new Dune sucks. I just know it. Oh, yeah, he's that guy. Like, he didn't get to make his 14-hour version. So, where I'm going to pose this question now, and, like, I'd love to, if I could have Robert Rodriguez or Rosa Salazar ask, what's going on with Battle Angel Alita Battle Angel? I've heard, hey, Jen, we were just talking Dune. You missed it.
Jen.
So I've heard now that Disney, the mouse, owns Alita Battle Angel. Like, I feel like there is plenty of opportunity for them if they wanted to merchandise it.
Yeah.
And they're all about the merchandise. Like, they could get this put on Disney Plus if they wanted to, and just do a prequel series where it's like her Martian, was it their fight against?
I would
And
actually watch that. That would be pretty cool.
I don't think the effects would. I mean, considering how much the fucking Marvel TV series costs, like I'm sure budget wise it'd be right in there.
Well, I mean, it's Disney. They have twice Oprah money, so they can really do whatever they want.
The parks have been hurting.
Well, that's true. They'll get back on track though.
It probably. I mean, they basically leveraged the Black Widow to stay in theaters only, so I'm sure they're getting a bigger cut of it.
You know, I'm kind of glad about that though, because I think a movie like Black Widow, not to diminish it any, but I don't think it would play as well in an at-home environment.
Probably
Really
not.
I don't think it would do as well. It's most of those Marvel films, not all, but most of them are made for big theater viewing, I think.
I'm here for Taskmaster. That's why I'm in for this movie. Taskmaster is one of my favorite jabroni villains, and the fact he's on the screen, like, I'm down for it.
I went down a Reddit rabbit hole the other day after I saw it wasn't an ad or it wasn't a trailer, it was like a short ad spot that Scarlett Johansson did for Black Widow, and it was like 15 seconds or something, but she was talking about driving down the streets of Budapest, and the first thing in my mind was, oh crap, are we gonna get to see Hawkeye and
I would
Black
love
Widow
that
in Budapest? Because if that happens, that's gonna be so freaking awesome. And someone was in that Reddit thread there, someone was conspiring that Taskmaster was actually Hawkeye at this time.
No.
So that's what they're saying, and I don't know. It's kind of a cool idea. Probably not true, but that would be something else, especially like when he's telling Nat, you and I remembered Budapest way differently. Like it's just little things like that where it's like, But I don't think they haven't confirmed. Is Hawkeye confirmed in it? Has anybody said? Or
I haven't seen anything, but I'd heard talk that there was an after credit scene. That
I saw someone that said they saw.
But this was like months ago when it was supposed to come out before the Winter Soldier series, and Norman Osborn was supposed to be the after credit scene.
Oh yeah.
And it was Willem Dafoe again, which got me very excited.
That's gonna happen. It's gonna be cool. I can't wait.
Jen, also, if you're still here, let me know what your excitement level from out of 10 is for Dune, because they released more pictures the other day.
Ooh, I love Denis Villeneuve's just, I don't know, his style, everything he does. So I'll probably enjoy it. I was just talking with a friend at my brother's house the other day about how Blade Runner 2049 I think is kind of underrated.
It is. Jen, I have October 1st off now, so like we can both watch it and live stream and see if we can get the rest of the Spice Girls together for it. Just saying.
Gore, I heard Black Widow was like Jason Bourne, James Bond, and
it's too slick to be a Bourne film
mixed together.
It's too slick it's too slick for a Bourne film. I think it's more of like the Daniel Craig James Bond.
Yeah, probably true. Which
so someone's gonna take a rope to the nuts repeatedly. I'm joking about it, but fuck, Casino Royale was such a good movie.
Oh, because there's two Daniel Craig Bond films I love, Casino Royale, and then the other one is the one that apparently nobody likes, which was oh god, the one after the one that everybody liked.
Oh, not Spectre.
Yeah, Spectre.
Oh, okay.
I love Spectre.
Oh,
but
dude,
didn't like that one. So
I wish I had watched Red at the theaters. I fucked up on that. Like legit, the Stallone one burned me so bad. Like I was just like, oh no, another one of these.
Yeah, I think I saw it on Netflix.
That's where I saw it,
and I was like,
I immediately bought the Blu-ray.
I did not see this in the theater. Like it was just like one of those epiphanies. Like, damn it.
That's where as fans, like we fuck up sometimes.
Yeah. But back to Alita. Don't mean to cut you off. But
No. Like seriously, yeah, we went off topic, and I know like I constantly do this, but
that's okay. I do it too. I go on tangents, but just real quick, I want to say like I've been hearing the last couple, like maybe year and a half or so, that Alita Army on Twitter and stuff has been really like at the forefront of maybe getting a sequel made. So
they're like the Snyder cut, basically.
Yeah.
And honestly, like if it did make enough to break even, and now that the material's out there and you're introduced to this character, and you get fucking Ed Norton to come back as the main villain, like fuck. And
he'll probably ask for a ridiculous amount of money, but still, you got to get him back.
Salute, Alita Army.
Hey.
So like, in Ed Norton, if you want to see him play a complicated character, go check out Kingdom of Heaven when he's playing the Leper King. He is fucking awesome. And you don't even know it's him most of the movie.
Is that
Ridley Scott with Orlando Bloom?
Orlando Bloom, okay.
The director's cut is the one to watch. Like, I feel like Disney at a certain point, they're going to start looking at people being ravenous. And there's so much material for Alita. I mean, there's 19 graphic novels just of The Last Order.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, too, I don't know if the novels or the manga cover the prequel part.
Yes.
But even that would be freaking awesome. Like, I would definitely tune in for that. And absolutely, Vladi 99. Oh, yeah, it will rock. Hopefully.
So we know it's not going to be James Cameron directing. Like he is focused on Avatar. That's what he's doing.
He can stick to his Avatar movies. That's cool with me. I'm good with that.
I mean, I'd be good with giving Robert Rodriguez another shot. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And I mean, Vladdy corrected me earlier when I said Rosa on Twitter was doing the heavy lifting. When I mean that, like, she carries the movie in a way
emotionally. And she's a freaking android humanoid, like, and she carries the movie. Yeah,
she's a VFX character. I want to see her in more, like, just the actress, because, like, literally that's the first thing I've really seen her in, and she was just fantastic. Like, if she can, Monica Bellucci, ooh,
he's just killing my heart right there, because she's like my favorite. Yeah, she's my favorite. So.
No, I'd be fine if James Cameron's going to oversee it and put his art department again on it and his VFX team, and like, because he gave Robert every resource he needed and pulled them off of Avatar, working on that. Which for Cameron to do that, which I'm sure he's like, Avatar is like 10 years away still. We're on 10 years now since the last one.
I hope it comes out after I die. I really don't care.
It's the spectacle of it. Like, there is one of the things I can say, like, James Cameron, you might not love the movie, but you have to love how fanatical he is about finding out everything he can and then going, I want to do this, but I'm going to wait for the technology. There's something like true artistry with it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I respect him as a director and as an innovator and stuff, but I'm just not a big fan of him in general.
I'm kind of like I said, I really think that people saw James Cameron involved in this and found finally a weakness in a movie he was releasing, and they just wanted to go after him.
Which I think this was the wrong movie to do that with, because honestly, yeah, I don't know. This is, I guess. Is it technically a James Cameron film though? I mean, Robert Rodriguez.
It's produced, but it was his baby.
So, I mean, okay, we'll give you that. And then I would say this is the first James Cameron film I've liked since Terminator 2.
Because, I mean, Titanic, everybody had their pitchforks out.
Yeah.
When that movie, the first week, only did 40 million, it was this big bloated movie that, like, and then it just kept going and going and going. And then it was James Cameron just like, fuck you.
That one was a pretty good technical marvel. I'll give him that. But
it was, like,
story-wise, it wasn't for me. But
it wasn't really for me, like, but like, I watched that documentary on the making of it, and just, you know, how just into it he was, and how he went and looked up everything, even getting silverware that matched what was on the ship for authenticity, like, just insane stuff.
Oh,
And the
Gordon's
fact
talking about Melina. I still need to.
I didn't see that yet either.
I think that might be on moratorium too. I'm trying to get it on either Blu-ray or 4K. Probably not on 4K, but it's got to be on Blu-ray somewhere.
So there's a weird 4K that went on sale that I had to pre-order just because of how weird it was. Last Action Hero.
Why is that weird?
It just seemed like a weird movie to put out in 4K, and I was like, well, fuck, this is out in 4K. I have to order. I just ordered CB4 on Blu-ray. Like, I went on a weird Blu-ray streak of like buying stuff that's like not the norm. I pre-ordered the Dead Zone Scream Factory edition that was coming out. Transformers the movie from Shout Factory.
Nice.
The original animated.
I'm really hoping that Amazon has some good 4K deals on Prime Day.
Target had buy two get one free.
What?
Yeah, it ends
today.
Hours. Yeah, it was a Father's Day deal.
Well, is it? I'm sure it's probably online too. Maybe something I could check.
Yeah, it is. That's where most of the good movies are. That you have to go online for them because the Target carries nothing in the store anymore, physical media wise, except for records. Like
records are making LPs are making a huge comeback, man. EPs.
So, So if this comes out in 4K, it's universal and you can play it on any player.
I'm guessing that footage cut out for the American version was probably sexual in nature.
Probably. I just ordered.
They don't have a problem showing heads being sliced off and bullets tearing up bodies, but if they show a extra couple boobs or sexual stuff, Americans get kind of uptight about that.
I just ordered David Lynch's Dune, the Arrow Steelbook edition, limited edition. It's like 3 discs. There's so much making of, and I'm like, I don't even like this movie, but I have to own this. Nice. So I just want to see like just the anger in his face directing it, because he basically said he did it for the money.
So of course. Yeah.
But back to Alita. So how many years out do you think we are from seeing a sequel? I feel like if they waited too long, whatever buildup you had is gone.
Well, I think if we can see an Avatar sequel, I think we can see a Alita Battle Angel sequel.
But it's 10 years. The people still care about Avatar.
I mean, I didn't care about it 10 years ago, but there's still people that still care about it. So I think Alita, though, has a following that, for lack of a better term, has more substance behind it. So I could see it. I mean, even if it doesn't do well in the theaters, again, because they waited too long on, digital and home video and stuff, I could see it doing like really well. So
yeah, like
I want it to do well in the theaters, but
in the documentary I watched from manga to screen, Jim Cameron flew to Tokyo to go talk to the creator of Alita, Battle Angel Alita, and sit down with him and show him what he had just so he'd approve of it, and then had him fly to where they were filming to show him work prints of what they had. So like the respect he showed towards the creator probably went a long way.
Yeah. And I knew it, Gore. I knew it. I think actually at one point I had looked up that scene online because I knew it wasn't on the American release, just to see what it was like around the time it came out. And it doesn't surprise me.
So
I mean, it's a little, I don't know, I guess you could say, especially I could see like religious people getting freaked out over it. But anyway,
supposedly the sequel was going to be called Alita Fallen Angel.
Yeah, I did see that.
And I started thinking what story points they were going to hit. But I believe it was Vladdy who hit me up on Twitter today, and he had, I feel at the end of the movie where she's holding the sword up, her new life just started so beautifully, but she was torn apart by her enemies. At the end, after all she's been through, her fans cheer her on as she looks to finally up at Zalem, a future not just for Alita, but for Rosa Salazar, potentially stolen from her through no fault of her own. She was perfect. It is near Shakespearean the depth of the tragedy that befell her. Even her fans' love was delegitimized by the media.
Yeah. That was very well written.
And I haven't seen her since. Like,
And honestly, like it sounds weird, but because she was playing a like humanoid character, but I looked her up afterwards, like real life version stuff, and man, I just kind of fell in love with her. So anything else she does in the future, if they let her or whatever, I'll probably be down for her. So.
on the docs on the Blu-ray, like she's so like enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Like it's hard not to fall in love with her, and even like her little cyborg character, it's hard not to fall in love with her. She's just so charming.
Yep. Yeah,
and
her
then you're like,
enthusiasm is contagious for sure.
yeah, and then you're like, all right, this is like a CG creation here. Like, what's going on?
I don't know if John's still here, but as a robot, I was pretty impressed by this movie. So
it was, and like some of the designs and like just how violent some of the fights were, like with the rapist dudes that came out, with Elsa Gonzalez playing the girl with the blades, which she's been in a shitload of movies. Unfortunately, Eli Roth movies, but that's a whole other. I'm not a big Eli Roth fan at all.
There's one Eli Roth movie I really, really love, and the last girl I was kind of talking to, I had her watch it with me, and I think she probably thought it was weird. But anyway,
Inglourious Basterds, when he was the Jew Bear.
No, that's a good movie though.
My drink for tonight.
Oh, by the way, before we get any further, and I forget, I am drinking a Scotch, Speyside Scotch, single malt, that was given to me on my birthday by one of my dear friends, Dusty. So if you're watching, Dusty and Lindsay, thank you very much. I'm trying to sip it as slow as I can because this bad boy is basically 68%. So it doesn't drink like it. It doesn't drink hot. It's very smooth. Actually, though, because of how hot it is here today, I probably should have put an ice cube in there. But I like to, when I try
I do cold stones.
I like to do just neat to get all the flavors, to get the taste, like, and then after that, I'll start using ice or whatever. But yeah, it's called Abunad. It's cask strength, so that's why it's so high in the proof. But
and for anybody who watched last episode where someone was going to town on the Amroot,
oh man,
it followed up afterward where I was asleep and getting text messages from Carlito going, "Whew, I can't stop. This bottle's going quick."
It was so good. Like, I am gonna give that bottle as a gift to a few people, so for sure. I got to find more of it, but definitely once I do, I'm going to be giving those away. So, yeah, very true. Well, Catholics are, they're forgiving. You can sin all week and then go to confession on Sunday. So, I should know because I was raised Catholic.
There is a movie that I saw that was French that I saw an imported version of it, but they did a remake of it here, but it was terrible. It was called Martyrs. I'll never fucking watch it again. It was so brutal. I liked it, but I can't sit through it again. It made me like cringe. There's a scene in it I will never get out of my head.
Bad brutal, then it wasn't good brutal.
It had to play into how the story was going. Like, basically this cult was they were kidnapping people and like torturing them to get one of them to hear the voice of God.
Oh,
there's a scene in it where they skin somebody alive, and spoilers, she hears something and then whispers it, and everybody in the room dies. Like, it was the craziest ending to a movie. And it's just everything to get to that point, because you sat through just brutality after brutality of torturing these two girls they kidnapped. And this is when the whole torture porn craze thing was going on with like Eli Roth and all the other people. But this one in particular, because of the reasoning, because they were zealots, kind of like really hit me in a weird place. And then like I turned it off and I was like, I can't watch it again. But fuck, that was good. But I'll never watch it again.
Is it weird that I kind of want to watch it more now? Not
You
to
watch
steal
it
a line
once.
from Rocket, but yeah, anything like I'm down to watch anything once, like especially if it gives you that mind fuck or mind screw. Like, yeah, I'm down to see it, but I'm not really into torture porn stuff. So
I'm not either, but this particular movie, I kept hearing about it, and I was like, all right, like I gotta check this thing out because everybody's like, it's good, but holy shit, it'll make you squirm in your seat.
I'll have to message Perry in the Patreon and see what she says about it. I'm sure she's seen it.
I think John Schnepp talked about it on one of the horror shows.
I'm guessing he probably thought it was badass.
Oh, he dug it. He dug it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Schnepp.
But it's violence on women for a lot of it, and it's uncomfortable. It's real uncomfortable. I mean, it's supposed to be.
Up until like mid 2000s, I think most horror was violence on women. It seemed like.
And then there was the turn where we started getting movies like You're Next, where we had the super badass femme fatale.
I can't watch Irreversible again.
I can't do it again now. Same here. Like I watched it.
It was definitely it was a crazy film for sure. I mean, Monica Bellucci just. And
how underused she was in The Matrix Reloaded.
Oh, I know, man. I was so stoked for that back in the day. And then her part was just like, eh. I mean, she still looked super hot, but
yeah, it's just she was so underused, and it was just like, just have a pretty girl in the movie and give her nothing to do. So, back to Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think
sorry, everybody. We're drinking, and we. Unfortunately, like cinema, you can always reference something else to something else. Like it becomes like the degrees of Kevin Bacon, except you're not talking about Kevin Bacon. We're just talking about directors. What would you, out of 10, give this movie?
I want to say, right now, at this moment, I'd probably give it like a 9.8. I think that's pretty close. I think I gave it like a 9.6 or a 4. Whatever.
4
Yeah. Or maybe it was like 4.25 out of 5 or something. But yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, like, I don't know what it is, but every time I watch it, rewatch it, it doesn't get any less than.
Same here. I can watch it, and it's a long movie.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty long.
I'm entertained. There's no real. The slowest moments are with Hugo,
right?
The romance parts, and it's kind of clunky, but it was kind of clunky in the graphic novels too. So,
well, I mean, it's clunky just because of a lot of other stuff too. But yeah, like, I mean, yeah, it's long, but every time I watch it. Like I'll look at the back and be like, oh yeah, this is how long this is, and I'll put it in. But it doesn't seem that long. Like it just, I don't know. To me, it flies by. But.
And that part where she pulls her reactor hard out and hands it to him, she's like, "Sell it. We just get a cheap one." I'm like, God damn, this kid's an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't think I was as high as you on it, but like I'm still rather high. Like I'm in that 8.59 range, where like the clunky romance when it first came out, that was the one thing I walked out of the theater going, yeah, I really liked it, but man, this one part.
That's when I walked out, it was the same thing, and then I think over time it kind of went away a little bit, but for me anyway.
But the motorball parts, I appreciate even more now after rewatching it again, because I remember in the theater I was like, all right. And then today when I was watching, I was like, fuck, man, like, this is so good. Why didn't they make this the trailer or the teaser? Like,
yeah,
this has everything you want. It has her being kind of charming where she doesn't realize these people are trying to kill her.
Yeah. And to come to think of it, I believe like a movie that also I think actually didn't do too bad in the theater, but not as good as they expected. Tron Legacy, they used some of the game stuff in their trailers, whereas
Yes.
in in Alita they didn't. And I think maybe that might have helped bring some more people out. I don't know, but
And this
that's
was
another
originally supposed to come out Christmas time 2018, and they pushed it back to February because they just had a feeling.
And yeah, I remember that. And when I saw it in February, I mean, it was probably the best time for it to come out. So I don't think there was anything out that was worthwhile.
Pretty much no.
So, and that year, I think that was the year that I had Movie Pass too, and it was coming towards the end of it. But so I was like cranking out, going to movies all the time, or at least trying to. And then sometimes they would say, "Oh, your password doesn't work, and you can't get in to see this movie," yada yada, which is a whole nother story. But yeah. So, and speaking of sequels, I'd like to see Tron 3 would be great. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Tron fan. Yeah, so this movie would have gotten trounced that year had it come out. Bumblebee came out the first week.
Yeah, I mean,
Transformers fans though like propped it up, and it actually wasn't bad. Aquaman came out right before Christmas.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out the first week. Mortal Engines bombed.
Yeah.
Which had a huge budget.
Yeah, that had a huge following too, I think, or maybe still does, or I don't know.
Holmes and Watson came out. That bombed.
I heard the books were good on Mortal Engines or whatever, I guess. Wasn't it based off of books?
Yeah.
But I saw the trailer and I basically laughed out loud. I was like, I'm not going to see this. This looks like trash. And I was right. So.
Those were the biggest movies that were out in the theaters, and 3 of them would have just trashed it out. Oof, Valerian. Oof.
I have not seen that one, but I've been curious to because I hear that those 2 are just so bad in it. As far as chemistry and stuff.
Oh, their chemistry was Canadian, like 2 bags of shit knocking together. Like they were fucking terrible. But Luc Besson can shoot the hell out of a movie and make it look beautiful.
Yeah, and I think who was I want to say it was someone from Collider Movie Talk was like singing the praises of the world and the technical stuff of Valerian. But like the rest of it just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, like that guy since The Fifth Element has not had a good movie.
Mm.
Like that Joan of Arc probably was like the second best of them, but oof. And then he got sued by John Carpenter.
Oh, that's the guy. Okay.
Yeah, he did that. Basically, what John Carpenter's like, yeah, that's basically Escape from New York. You're ripping off Snake Plissken. Pay me. Cinema Paradies.
Top 10 of Gore's favorite films, huh?
Ooh. I was happy to see an announcement the other day for a horror movie that's been out of print for a long fucking time. Near Dark by Catherine Bigelow. Her vampire movie, one of the first movies she did after Point Break.
I don't even think I've seen that.
It's Bill Paxton in it as a crazy hillbilly vampire. Adrian Pasdar from Heroes. It's a great movie.
I'll probably like it.
It's been out of print for a while.
I wish so. Sort of, kind of, not really on the same topic. I wish Disney would stop doing their moratorium on crap, because I think a movie from my childhood that I really love, which I can't find right now except for like $300 and some or some crap, was Something Wicked This Way Comes, I think.
Oh,
with
shit, I haven't watched that since I was a kid.
Yeah, but I remember it just freaking me and my brother out as a kid, and especially like the spider part. I don't know if you remember that. Oh God,
spiders.
Yeah. So
like Indiana Jones.
I was talking to a friend last weekend, a couple of years ago. I was thinking about moving to Australia, and then my buddy that lived there at the time sent me a photo of this huge ass spider in a shower, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pass on Australia.
So, to wrap up on Alita Battle Angel, we both think it's a must-watch.
Yes.
Just, you got to give it about 15 to 20 minutes to get going. But there's so much beauty in the wreckage of the city, the set design, the just matte paintings of the city and they use for the background. Just fucking beautiful. It's the same thing where I say about Denis Villeneuve. Like, if you watch Blade Runner 2049, everything looks bombed out. But the fucking detail to how trashed it is.
Yes.
Denis Villeneuve does wreckage more than anybody else I've seen. Like, he just gets it. And I honestly think is the next Ridley Scott. Except I think he's a better technician.
I agree.
And I love Ridley Scott.
I used to love Ridley Scott. He's kind of trailed off for me the last.
He's had a couple like
years, but
when he's very involved in something, although he was very involved in the last Alien Covenant, and that didn't land for me.
Yeah, it didn't quite do much for me either. Yeah, Vladdy, I agree, definitely. Every single time. Yep.
Yes, very much so. And like I heard people start with this shit with, well, you know, the eyes, I couldn't get past it. You forget about it after 15 minutes. You really do.
Well, I actually forgot that was one of my things for the first 20 minutes when I was seeing it in the theater was, I don't know, those eyes are a little, and then all of a sudden I just forgot about it. So.
The new complaint I saw is when she gets the second body, how they were sexualizing her. And I'm like, they don't really sexualize her. Like, yeah, they have the weird, like, I'm doing gymnastics scene.
I didn't get the sexualization thing.
But she's also 300 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't quite get that.
Vladdy, 100%. Like, again, when I went into the movies, I was like, okay, like, the eye thing I'm going to have to get over. The Uncanny Valley ended real fast. Especially once the action starts, because like she emotes, the eyes move, they're not stuck in that position the whole fucking movie, and it's insane the shit people were picking at. And I went back and read those reviews, and I'm just like, did I watch a different movie than them?
Me too. I said the same thing. Yeah.
And I think you went in hating the movie. You went in wanting to hate it from the start of it, whether it's because it's this stupid Japanese comic book that it's based on, a bias against Jim Cameron, a bias against Robert Rodriguez, which Robert Rodriguez, every movie since El Mariachi and Desperado, they have review bombed every fucking one of them, except for maybe Spy Kids.
Yeah, and then of course you've got the other factor of every basically Japanese manga or comic book
been terrible.
Had kind of been terrible for the last, I don't even know how long.
Ghost in the Shell, I got excited because that trailer looked really fucking good. And then I was like, Scarlett sucks. She's not a good actress.
I rewatched the trailer recently because someone said that to me. And I was like, yeah, I guess the trailer wasn't that bad, but I just have no interest in seeing the movie after what I heard. So
it was the first 4K disc I bought.
Ooh.
And then I was like, oof. Ooh, boy. Then I bought Pacific Rim to make up for it.
Yeah, that makes up for it, man. Good job.
And then Inception, I bought all the Nolan movies on 4K.
I'm in the process of trying to do that. I think the first one I got was Interstellar, for obvious reasons. No, wait. Yeah.
Predator in 4K, it's really good. And it's like $18.
What's that in 4K?
The first Predator.
Oh, yeah. See, I bought like the whole Predator series on Blu-ray dirt cheap. And then like months later, the 4Ks come out. I'm like, God dang it. I should have waited. But I mean, it was cheap, so I could probably just upgrade and it wouldn't hurt that bad. But
Vladdy, film Twitter is the worst. Like I've learned, like I need to see something before I check in with film Twitter. Like
film Twitter and like people that go off of Rotten Tomatoes like it's the movie Bible. It's an aggregate. So like,
yeah,
you can't even get an accurate. I don't know. I'd rather go to like individual people I know that I usually agree with and read their
Gore.
reviews.
Kelly McGillis and Witness. Whew.
That's in her Amish clothes. That's one of the weirdest sentences I've read today. Gore, thank you.
Yeah, like I've noticed like Christopher Nolan when Tenet came out, the big thing was everybody was going after him. Oh, he's pushing to put a movie out during lockdown, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm saying his timing wasn't right. But he was right. The movie needed to be watched in theaters.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I started to not like film Twitter anymore, was when that stuff happened, because I think people were kind of they were literally in a bubble, and Nolan is, for lack of a better, not being condescending, but he's thinking like at a different level as opposed to the people that are all trapped at home, blah, blah. He's not, that's not his main focal point of what his point he was trying to make. He was trying to make a point that you need to see this movie in theater, not necessarily that you need to throw caution to the wind and avoid COVID or and just say whatever to COVID and just risk it. That's not what he meant. He just meant
no. He wasn't wrong though.
Yeah, no, I absolutely wasn't. Everybody knows my feelings, especially after seeing it in IMAX. Like seeing it at home was, I mean, it was a tenth of the experience of what it was in IMAX. So. And I still love it, but it just wasn't the same. So.
See, that was Inception for me. I can watch it at home. I can enjoy it, but seeing it in IMAX in the theater was like a whole fucking other experience.
I wish I would have seen that in IMAX. I think maybe I might have had a different, because I saw it in a smaller theater, and I don't know. I just
great movie.
I wasn't impressed the first time I saw it in the theater. Like I don't know what I was expecting, but I also had kind of a headache. And I don't know. It was a long story, but I mean, obviously, eventually, I liked it and actually sort of loved it. But that first experience was just not good. So
I hated Interstellar.
Yeah.
McConaughey's acting was just so like it took me out of it. I don't know why.
Did you see it after the whole meme thing though? Is that
no? I saw it opening night. Like it just. Something just didn't work for me.
That's
Alita
fair.
was a great IMAX experience. I said earlier when I saw Avatar, had I seen it any other way but IMAX, like I would have enjoyed it even less. But visually, it was stunning. And it was the first like 3D movie that kind of worked.
Yeah, it was definitely, the technology was cool when it came out for sure. And Vladdy, I would say Interstellar for me. Besides maybe Endgame, was
Dunkirk with the Atmos speakers was fucking. Whew.
Dunkirk was amazing, but I saw Interstellar 4 times in IMAX, so yeah, I don't think anything's gonna eclipse that. Well, The Dark Knight I saw like 7 times in IMAX, but that was for different reasons.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I saw. There was another IMAX movie I saw that King of the Monsters, Godzilla. Oh. I saw that in IMAX, and that was not bad in IMAX. It was a fun time.
I bet that would actually enhance it, probably.
But Alita in IMAX with the bigger screen, the speakers. I had middle row, like
bigger eyes too.
Yeah, yes, even bigger. I think I saw Batman's BVS in IMAX too, and that did not enhance or lessen. It just left me questioning a lot of things.
I'm not even going to talk about the theatrical cut.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a whole other argument.
Yeah, I'm not going to go down that road again, but let's just say I gave away my copy of my theatrical cut, and I only have the ultimate cut.
I only bought the ultimate cut. So we're on to the part of the show where we bring a movie each to discuss. And Hans Zimmer is fantastic.
Hans Zimmer. Oh, one more point on Alita. I'm pretty sure I don't remember anything specific, but I enjoyed the music and the score behind that too.
It was very good. I don't remember who did the score. I will say someone I love who does scores, Harry Gregson Williams.
Yeah,
He
he's good.
did Man on Fire, Kingdom of Heaven, and a couple of other movies. He did a lot of Ridley Scott stuff and Tony Scott. Fantastic scores. It's a little bit electronic, a little bit of strings. He's got a little bit of everything. Really enjoy. That makes sense that Junkie XL did it.
Junkie XL. Okay, yeah, I thought, yeah.
Tom Hulkenberg.
Yeah, I definitely remember her theme, but as far as the rest of the music, I mean, it's good, but like I don't remember any specifics. But yeah, Junkie XL, like he actually, and the Batman vs Superman soundtrack was fucking amazing too with him and Zimmer. So
also one of the standout scenes I thought is kind of gets lost in the movie is when she's climbing up Zalem after Hugo.
Yeah,
I thought that was a scene that kind of gets looked over a lot, and I thought that was a great scene.
Yes, very well done. Yeah, the way they just did, I mean, I don't know. It's just very well done. I thought, for me, I mean, maybe I'm just imagining it because I love it, but it seems like there's a lot of shots and different camera angles and stuff that they did in that like, I don't know, I ended up loving that I don't recall ever seeing too much of before. So,
and again, like Rosa sells everything so well, like
yeah,
and it's crazy because I don't think I've seen someone in mocap emote like she did, and maybe just the mocap technology got so good in it. Ooh, Ennio Morricone, The Thing. Score, man. John Carpenter's The Thing. Fucking amazing.
One of my top 5 favorite composers for sure.
And John Carpenter's like, I'm gonna get this Western composer to do this sci-fi horror movie with this just tense soundtrack going behind it. John Carpenter's The Thing is probably one of my favorite, like, top 5 movies.
I still need to watch that. I'm gonna watch that tonight and Reign of Fire tomorrow.
I haven't seen Reign of Fire since it first released.
There was a buddy of mine that did say that was good, but I remember seeing, I think it was a trailer, and I was just like, eh.
I mean, I still think Christian Bale, his best performance, fucking American Psycho.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that.
Just seeing him go batshit crazy. So this is the part of the show where we bring a movie each to kind of tell people that why we think they should watch it. So I'll let you go first.
Oh, I get to go first?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Mine is The Way of the Gun. It's a little
I have not seen that in a long time.
It's a little controversial. Definitely not popular. There's a lot, like, it's got a good ensemble cast, and like I tell people about it and they're like, I've never heard of it. Like, what are you talking about? And there's a lot of
See you, Vladdy. Thanks for stopping by.
See you, Vladdy. There's a lot of stuff that for lack of a better term might be like deemed controversial or not politically correct or whatever, but like besides that, the score is freaking amazing by Joe Kramer, which it's got like this westerny kind of vibe to it, and I don't know, there's just something about this movie and Ryan Phillippe and Benicio del Toro, like
Del
together.
Toro is underrated, I think. Like he's played so many different types of roles.
Yeah, I mean, this even had like Taye Diggs in it and
Juliette Lewis.
James Caan, which his role was superb. Like, he doesn't do much. It's not a huge role, and it's understated. But
Scott Wilson.
Yeah, but it's like just everything about it. Yeah, Scott Wilson. I mean, yeah.
Sarah Silverman.
I don't know. It just has that like nothing to lose. Like if I don't know, like kind of like a fantasy of like if a working man just said fuck it one day and quit his job and had this like scheme to make a lot of money and like try to ride off into the sunset. And of course, I mean, other things play out, but yeah, it's just I think it's extremely well acted. And James Caan is understated. Scott Wilson is really good in it. He's understated too. But it's just like it's so interesting. And I guess I just realized this from the little blurb on the front, but it's from the writer of The Usual Suspects. So I mean that goes a little bit ways too. But
It reminds me of that movie with Paul Walker, Running Scared, where it just came out of nowhere. Very interesting movie, like kind of under the radar.
Similar, yeah. And this came out in 2000, which I think 2000 there was a ton of movies out and a ton of good ones too. And so I kind of see why it got lost in the fray. But yeah, this is always one of my like movies I recommend to people that are like ask like, well, what's a good movie that I probably haven't seen that you'd recommend? And I usually, well, I guess depending on the personality of the person, because some people might not enjoy it, but in general, I think if you love movies, you'd enjoy this. Like I'm pretty sure JoJo, if she hasn't seen it, would like it. And obviously you've seen it. Did you like it?
I did. Like I watched it forever ago. It's been a long time since I watched it, but I remember watching it. But Benicio del Toro, like it was in that. What was the movie that he was in with the drugs?
Traffic.
Traffic. Yeah. It was after that, and I just remember like everything Benicio del Toro was in at that time. I was watching.
You know, it's kind of like to me, it reminds me of like a modern Western sort of.
But I got like that with Javier Bardem after watching No Country for Old Men, where it was just like, holy shit, this dude's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And Bardem, like, he ended up becoming a great actor after that. I mean, he was already, but like No Country for Old Men was where like he got on my radar. Was like, this is fucking bananas. This dude, flip the coin.
I think he got on mine in Collateral. I think he was in that first before.
Well, what do I win? You win everything.
But
flip the coin.
What's that?
Yeah, just flip the coin. Well, what do I get? You get everything.
Sometimes me and my brother will do that, like back and forth, and hopefully no one's around us. But like, it's just so funny. It's like that lady in the trailer, and he's like, "Where does he work?" And she takes the nail filer and like inches closer to him. She's like, "I can't divulge that information." Like it's just so funny. So good.
I like this gum. Also, like one of those things where like Tombstone. I rewatched that recently. How the fuck did Val Kilmer not win anything for that role in that? He was fucking magic in that. I mean, everything with him and oh god, the guy who played Johnny Ringo, who was in Aliens.
Yeah, shit. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too for a while.
Well, he was also Michael Biehn.
Oh, okay. Wait,
because Michael Biehn was Ringo.
Okay, I was thinking, who was the other guy? Like
Bill Paxton was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Who was the like Latino dude, like Salazar or something? I can't remember. So I got those two confused. Ringo, okay, yeah, Ringo's Michael Biehn.
But just that part where they're speaking Latin to each other. I think I hate him. That whole movie, like Val Kilmer's so good in that. I'm just like, how did he get overlooked for anything in this movie? That's one of my like, I'm having a bad day. I'll go home and put that movie in and watch, and I'll be entertained for hours.
You know what's funny is me and a couple buddies used to do that like back in the day, and so we were watching it one time in my apartment, and another buddy came over. He's like, "What are you guys doing? Watching Tombstone in the dark?" And we were all like, "Yep." But yeah, it's just one of those films that it's so good. Val Kilmer's just amazing.
Oh, I mean, Kurt Russell's good, but Val Kilmer steals that movie.
He totally just put every ounce of energy into that role. So,
and then he did Island of Dr. Moreau after that, and oof, There's a documentary about that called Lost Souls that I recommend watching. It's fucking horrific.
All right. Sounds like a good time.
Someone uploaded the entire thing on Netflix also. Not Netflix, YouTube.
Yeah.
So my movie, I'm going to get a lot of shit for this. Fear, starring Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon. It's the second movie he ever did after Basketball Diaries. Mark Wahlberg is kind of falls in with Alyssa Milano's in this too.
Ooh.
Playing Reese Witherspoon's friend, and she's a high school girl and falls in love with David. And he seems like this nice kid, and then he gets creepier and creepier, and you find out he's been in jail. And Mark Wahlberg is acting.
Like he acts creepy because he usually is pretty smooth and.
Well, he's creepy, and then like he hadn't lost his like Boston accent. He's like, "I love you, Nicole, forever." And he's like talking shit to her dad, going, "Yeah, it seems like your wife's a little disappointed in you, pal." And he's like pounding his chest as the dad walks away. He's like,
dude, you dug deep on this one. I'm going to check it out. I'd never even heard of it till now.
It is fucking bananas. Like, Mark Wahlberg is so over the top in it. And then, like, he finger bangs Reese Witherspoon on a fucking Ferris wheel or roller coaster. Like, it was a $10 movie.
Was this like a B movie or something?
It came out in theaters. Like, Mark Wahlberg was at his apex.
Really?
Yes. This is when he was still with the Funky Bunch.
Oh, man.
And, like, Reese Witherspoon, I think she's 22, but playing, like, 16.
Right.
How
old was Mark Wahlberg then? Like, 23 or something?
23 or 24. William Peterson plays Reese Witherspoon's dad. And
what does that name sound familiar?
I think he was the one in Red Dragon or Manhunter or whatever way back, like the.
Oh, okay.
But this famously has the scene where Mark Wahlberg at the looking through the peephole of the door, he's like, "Things could have been different, Mister Whatever. Gotta let nature take its course. So let me the fuck in the house!" Just screaming it like. If you just look up on YouTube, if you look up Fear on YouTube, you'll find every fucking funny clip in it. Like, it's not meant to be funny, but it's fucking hysterical.
So it's kind of like The Room for horror films, huh?
I wouldn't even go that far. It's not that bad. Just Mark Wahlberg's not an actor yet.
Nothing is really that bad. That movie's so bad, it's great.
Also, I think on Shudder Horror Streaming, if you like Power Rangers, watch Psycho Gorman. It's like a Power Rangers episode, but directed by Sam Raimi. There's like heads getting ripped off, people getting eaten, it's cheesy, it's funny, it's gory. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece. It's just fucking entertaining.
Well, if it's Power Rangers related, I'm sure Steve from Berg Family 54 Comics.
Oh, yeah. I don't even bring that to him. He'd probably get insulted by it.
Boogie Nights.
The suits are pretty bad. But, like, I think this was before Boogie Nights and after the Basketball Diaries. So he was still kind of finding his way. But there's still
Four Brothers.
I think that was later.
But I mean, like, that one wasn't bad.
There was, I think, Four Kings also he was in. There's still no acting worse than he was in that M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, yeah, with the wind.
Yeah. Are you trying to kill me? No. I'm just here trying to save my family.
Happening.
The Happening, yeah. Like, oh God.
I mean,
like
the concept was I
Him
thought
and
the
Zoe
concept was
Deschanel had
good,
no
but
chemistry.
good Lord, yeah, the execution of that movie was.
That was like M. Night Shyamalan just high on whatever he was on, like
Yeah.
just hubris. But then he put out he had his comeback. Devil was okay, and then Split, which was
Split was fantastic.
McAvoy deserved a fucking award for that movie. Like,
Yeah, he did.
especially when I found out he ad-libbed most of it and made it up as it went. The characters, like,
Yeah.
just unreal.
Yeah, he had to play like freaking 30 different characters.
Yeah, and like, oh no, you don't want to see the Beast. The Beast is coming. Like the one with the list, but just genius.
Genius.
So that is our recommendations of stuff you should check out. Anything else like coming out in the theaters you're excited about?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's already been out, but A Quiet Place 2, which I'm gonna try
I didn't
to
see that yet.
Try to get to it this week. I wanted to go last week and it didn't happen. And then also, yeah, after the week after that, I think is Black Widow, and yeah, hopefully we get a ton more coming out. And I'm excited, man. I'm gonna be probably going every week if I can. So yeah. What about you?
Peter Falk, Nick Cave in the same movie. What the fuck?
What?
I'd say Black Widow is probably the next movie I'll see in the theaters because I have to see in the theaters.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad after that, it looks funny, and I like James Gunn's sensibilities. So Slither, really underrated movie by him. And also the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead movie he did with Zack that James Gunn was, I don't know if he was the writer, but he was involved in it quite a bit. But I actually like that one quite a bit. But Slither in particular with Nathan Fillion and Michael Rooker is fucking fantastic.
I don't know what it is about Berlin, but that city is just so captivating to be in for real. But then also when movies are shot there, I don't know what it is about it.
Insanely clean city, no less. Like it is
sure.
like insanely clean. I went there right after the wall came down, and it was just the cleanest city I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Of course, Dune. That's my big movie.
Yeah.
Like that. That's you know, as a book fan and you know, praying to God, it's a good movie. Especially with the actors in it, that like you look at that cast list, it's like they spent a shitload of money just on the talent in this movie.
Yeah, I mean it's Denis Villeneuve, so I mean,
and they're having the same year. Oscar Isaac playing Moon Knight, and he's playing Leto Atreides in the movie. It's insane as a fanboy.
Maybe I'll read the Cliff's Notes of Dune before I go see the movie. I feel like I'm gonna be lost at sea the first time I see it. I don't know much about
on YouTube. Someone uploaded the entire sci-fi movie in 2 parts, all 4 hours of it, and it's close to the book. It's close enough that you could basically feel like you read the book, and then go to this new one.
Okay.
But Cliff Notes version, I don't know if there's really a Cliff Notes version.
Or like, you know how there's that one channel that like breaks down stories or movies in like 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Everything you need to know about blah, blah, blah in 10 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. I know there's a channel called, it was Quinn's Ideas. He actually did a 2-hour video doing the entire Dune book.
In 2 hours?
Yeah, where he breaks down all the best parts of the book, but he actually put pictures to it and like fan art and stuff to it. So if you were going to do that, that's probably the way to go.
That sounds like
he actually did all of the books.
Damn.
But they're all like fairly long, but like it tells you everything you need to know.
I know I'm probably breaking Jen's heart right now while she's hearing that, but
she's probably gone by now. It's late.
Yeah, she's probably gone by now anyway.
She's good at checking in just to make sure she shows her support.
Yeah, but, what is the Dune budget? That's a good question.
Oh, the Dune budget was
like 200 mil. Actually, it might be more than that. With that actors involved.
165 million, not counting
ads and stuff.
Yes. It's actually less than, it's 20 million less than Blade Runner.
That's probably like another 85 to 100 for advertising and stuff.
Honestly, I think advertising is going to be less.
Really?
With it being on HBO Max?
Oh, that.
Why go crazy?
I think it was digital this time too. So
yeah, why go crazy with it?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Weirdly, like everybody kind of mocked the 30-day window, but you were living proof of just putting off till the window's over.
Yeah.
No, like seriously, I think
I didn't realize 30 days had passed already. I was like,
I think people forget about that window and just so. Like I know I'm gonna see it in the theater. In IMAX, I'm gonna watch it at home. I'm probably gonna do a lot of think pieces on it.
Oh, for sure. And be a part of in the chat of that. That would be sweet.
And like, I know when it comes out in 4K, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Again, Denis Villeneuve gets my money though. Like,
yep. Same here.
As a director, he's gotten better and better every movie, technically.
So there's one I don't have because you can't buy it anymore, which I'm wondering if it's because it's about the shooting. But Polytechnic, I think is what it was.
Oh, I've never even heard of that one.
At the women's college in Canada.
Oh, I knew nothing about that.
It's such a good movie. Like, it's sad, dark, depressed. I mean, it's intense, but like the way he did it was just amazing.
Filmgoer.
Yeah, Gore. I still haven't decided if I'm going to go see Eternals yet or not, but I'm guessing since it's Marvel related, I probably will.
So weirdly, I've had a lot of women in my life tell me they're going to see it just because of Oscar Isaac. They're going for thirst reasons, not for like film reasons, but Oscar Isaac. And then Timothy Chalamet has like a huge fucking fan base that I did not know existed.
Oh, he has like the, what are they called? The Chalamet girls or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like a huge following. And like, I'm like the one going, Rebecca Ferguson's a fucking great actress.
Do you remember Timothy Chalamet in Interstellar?
I literally barely remember that movie.
Oh, that's too bad.
But Call Me by Your Name, him and Armie Hammer were fucking amazing in that movie.
Yeah, Armie, he got canceled, I think.
Yeah, he got very canceled, and well, I guess we won't be seeing Lone Ranger Part 2.
Yeah, I guess not. I have not seen Call Me by Your Name. I know Perry was high on it. Actually, a lot of people were high on it.
It was very well done, but like, you know, if again, there's the whole anti-LGBTQ sentiment, and that movie is like super gay.
That doesn't bother me.
No, I'm just saying that there's people who, like, you say that name, like, oh, it's the one with the fucking dudes.
Yeah.
You know, there's racist film Twitter. There's like anti-gay film Twitter.
Film Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the Snyderverse film Twitter.
And then there's the comic book film Twitter, which I love. Well, for the most part.
Horror film Twitter isn't as bad, but there is a lot of like, oh, you haven't seen this. You know,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of that.
The one thing I love about the horror, though, there's so much indie stuff that comes out. Like, you actually have to work to find it.
Man, there's so much indie horror, so much.
Like, Dog Soldiers was one of those movies that when I found it, I was like, this is fucking great. Like, why didn't this hit bigger?
Never even heard of it.
The guy who directed a shitload of Game of Thrones episodes directed that.
Huh.
And it's one of the better werewolf movies. It might have been at one time. I know it was on Netflix at one point, but it's British soldiers, and they end up in a house and werewolves.
That sounds interesting.
It was really good, and I believe it was the same director did The Descent.
Ooh, man, that's a movie I saw within the last because I think Schnepp and Perry both recommended that to me.
Like if you're afraid of enclosed spaces,
loved it.
That movie will freak you the fuck out, and it's such a good movie.
So freaking good. Like right after I finished actually,
Neil Marshall.
I don't even think before I was done, before the credits were done, I went on Amazon and bought it and had it shipped to me. So I was like, yep.
Neil Marshall, that's the director. And just the Descent 2, not as good, but Descent 1, you go in not really knowing what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Fucking fantastic. And I will make another horror recommendation. This came out during the torture porn days. The Collector and The Collection. The Collection has one of the best fucking endings of any movie I've ever watched. It's so satisfying, but you have to watch Collector 1 to understand why it's important.
Wait, so you gotta watch Collector and then The Collection?
The Collection.
And those
what's that?
They're horror movies?
Yes. They came out during the Saw days, but I think these are better. Ooh, Ginger Snap's another good one.
I was actually... it sounds awful, but like in the context of friendships, like it's funny, but I was at somewhere a couple years ago and I saw, or maybe it was recently, I can't remember. It would have been pre-pandemic though, I think. I saw that Ginger Snaps somewhere. It might have been Walmart. And I like took a picture of it and sent it to my redheaded buddy. Like, hey, look, you're being represented.
Jeez. It's a pretty decent werewolf movie. It's the little girl from the It TV series who played Beverly is in it.
Oh.
Which the It TV series movie version, I mean, Tim, oh God,
hey, what's up, G-Man?
Hey, what's up? How you doing, man? Not Tim Robbins, Tim
Curry.
Tim Curry, yes. Totally different Pennywise than the one played by Skarsgård, but both equally creepy, especially like as a teen. I was like, I fucking hate clowns, and this motherfucker is creeping me the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can see definitely why people like the newer version. For me,
the first movie was good.
For me, it was CGI for Pennywise, so that's why I couldn't get into it. But I mean, it's a younger audience, so I get it. But like for me, the Tim Curry version is always going to be number one. It doesn't matter.
Skarsgård brought a different take on it, where I thought he was more creepy than like fun creepy.
Sure, yeah, he was creepier and scarier. Definitely, I'll give him that. But like, I don't know. I'm always just a sucker for practical, like over CGI. So, and I just felt that Skarsgård was a little too CGI. But
the Hannibal series, another good one.
I loved that series, man. That was so good. God, that was so good. What's his face that plays Hannibal? That played
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen, just freaking amazing. Like at first, when my one of my friends told me to watch it, because I was a huge fan of obviously Anthony Hopkins version, and some of the books and stuff too. But like, he told me, yeah, you got to check this series out. It's been out for like 2 seasons. You gotta watch it. I was like, whatever. So I think after season 3 or something, I think it was either on Netflix or Prime, one of those two. And I started watching it, and man, it was just a hell of a lot better than what I expected. So and I think part of that was due to Mads Mikkelsen's portrayal was just, I mean, yeah, I don't like it was on the level of Anthony Hopkins, except for maybe just a tad more sophisticated. Is how I would describe
it. Also, he's taking the part of Grindelwald away from Johnny Depp in the new Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 3. So, getting ultra creepy now, and he's in the next Indiana Jones, which exciting for me because he's such a good villain. Gotta ask you, did you invest in the 4K Indiana Jones set?
No, but I'm regretting not doing it because all I saw for the past
Amazon's got on sale for $89 right now.
Everybody's just been posting that like crazy, and I'm like, man, I need to get that.
I looked at it today. I was like, $89. All right, let me wait for Prime Day just to see if it drops any lower.
Yeah, honestly, like at this point, I've waited so long that's on my list. So.
I'd love to buy them single because I don't want to have Crystal Skull in my collection in 4K.
Yeah, I respect that, but I totally disagree.
It wasn't for me.
Different discussion, but I come from the I'm all into the alien history and like the subcontext of pyramids and ancient history and culture and stuff. So like I totally bought into that part of it, even though
Shia LaBeouf was my downfall.
No, I'm with you on Shia LaBeouf, but like as far as the other stuff, I was totally in for that. But
so while we're on it, what do you want to do for next episode?
That's a good question. I can't off topic, but sort of coming up, I guess, in a couple months. I can't wait to do the horror stuff and get like Halloween related. Yes. I'm so stoked for that. And I don't know if I created a chat with you and her. Maybe not. Maybe I just
You told me JoJo wanted to come on for it.
Yeah, she's totally down, dude. So I mean, as a guest, I don't think as far as horror goes, you can get too much better than that. But X-Men Gala lackluster.
Oh, we'll talk about it in chat. But there's a couple of movies, especially ones you told me that you haven't seen, like John Carpenter's The Thing. I think could be an episode.
Okay. Do you want to do? Well, I guess maybe not next episode, but we need to do that for an episode.
Yes. There is another movie I don't think people talk about, but like I love The Prestige.
Oh, I was just John was talking about Nolan movies during his Saturday morning comics with kids.
Yeah.
And I guess so Charlie's been watching a bunch of Nolan movies. And yeah, we were talking
the anti-John.
Yeah, I mean, which honestly, that's out of Kate and Charlie. I mean, I love Kate, but Charlie's like, she's got my heart because
he got pissed off one day because Jen and I were doing our weekly show and she popped up in our chat and he's like, she's supposed to be doing homework. I don't know if I should be proud or mad.
What episode was that? Because I think I might have been in the chat.
I can't remember, but I just remembered I messaged Jen. I was like, calm the cursing down. Please don't corrupt this child.
Yeah, but we were talking about how Prestige is underrated for sure.
Very much so. And I know John was asking us what movies we were doing next, and I think that's his favorite Nolan movie.
Is he in this? No,
he's not anymore. But I think that was one of his favorite Nolan movies.
Yeah, he said. I think it was top 2. I think he said.
And maybe we can get him and Bearded on and have a.
Ooh, you know what? I've been trying to think. Like, I don't know. Maybe we should discuss this behind the scenes. But I've had like a kind of not original, but good idea for like a movie show, kind of. So, I don't know.
But thank you everybody for stopping in and joining. Gore, like always. You added so much to the discussion. Robert, thank you. G-Spot, thank you for stopping in. And Vlad, always happy to have you come in, and you're subscribed now to watch us. Gore's always great. Jen, Brandon, John for the minute he was here. Tomorrow's Cinema. Everybody, thank you for dropping by. This show's kind of... We fly by our pants on it and just kind of make shit up as we go.
Yeah, I do. You're the knowledgeable one.
No, I take no notes except for this is the one time. This is literally the one time.
You should see my notes on Tenet. I still have them on my phone. It's like 18 pages.
But
So, it's crazy.
thank you everybody for stopping in, and we will catch you next month. Stay tuned to our Instagrams. Mine is at Comic Shop News and Carlito Classico. And come join in the fun. We will announce the movie once we figure it out. It should be the next week or two.
Do you have an idea right now before we go? Like, sorry, I kind of got off on it.
We'll talk about it because now that I got the Prestige in my head, I think that's an interesting one to do. And I fucking love Michael Caine.
Oh, yeah, of course. Who doesn't?
He's so good. The Thing could be a very robust episode because there's a lot to unpack with that movie. But if you come up with another movie, we'll talk about it off air. Definitely. So thank you, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.